folks, Dan Frio here, the Mortgage Update. Today is July 1st, 2020. So today's video, what I want to talk about is the mortgage process. I have one video out there I did a couple years ago, and it was probably one of my biggest viewed videos out there. And I just actually got, right before I came in here, I got another blip on there. Somebody asking, it was actually a smart comment, but it is what it is. So, you finally decided that you want to buy a home. You want to buy your first home, or you're looking to refinance or something. Basically, what I want to do is kind of pull the curtain back on the mortgage process, because there's a lot of unknowns about the whole process, and people we use terminology like underwriting, DU, LP, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, DTI, things like that. That's what I want to explain in this video. So to get out all the misconceptions, I guess. And just so you know, it usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get your loan application through. Sometimes when it's busy, it's a busy time of year, it might even take up to 4 weeks. So be patient. It's not that we don't care about you. We're not worried. We know what we're doing. We're doing our best to get you through the process. But here's the process. So the first thing you want to do is you're like, okay, I want to buy my first house. What do I do? Well, the first thing you got to do is, do you qualify for anything? You're not going to go look for a Ferrari if you can't afford a Ferrari. So we got to figure out what kind of price range that fits your budget, and is that in that price range? Is there anything out there for you? So the first thing we need to do is get you pre-approved. All right, that's the first thing. I said pre-approved. I didn't say pre-qualified. There's a huge difference between the two. So a pre-qualification is basically you call me, and I get this a lot. If you pull my credit, is it going to be a hard hit? Yeah, it's going to be a hard hit. I don't want you to pull my credit. Well, I can't really tell you what I can or can't do without that. But, based on the information you give me, as long as it's factual and as long as we can validate it, here's what I should be able to do. And I can issue you a pre-qualification based on that. I very rarely do that unless it's Sunday at 10 o'clock and you want to put a contract in and you're just calling me. But I always tell you, this has to validate with all the stuff that you're giving me, your credit score, your income, your down payment, and such. However, pre-approval means you're pre-approved. We go through it, we pull your credit. Yes, it's a hard hit, but it might ding you a couple points. But it's something we have to do. The analogy I always make is, if my car doesn't work, it's like me going to the mechanic saying, my car won't start. What's wrong with it? Well, you try to fix it, but don't look under the hood. Well, he might come to me and say, do you have an engine? I don't know. Is there gas in it? I don't know. Well, without all that stuff, there's no way for us to, him to fix it. So that's basically my analogy on the mortgages. I don't know what I can do or can't do for you unless I get all the pieces of the puzzle together. So, meaning what I need from you are a few things. We need an application, we need your income, we need your credit, and we need to know how much money you have for your down payment, okay? So what I want you to do is go to therateupdate.com, so therateupdate.com, or call us. I have a staff basically that will answer the phone 24/7, 7 days a week. 844-775-LOAN. That's my sales pitch, so we'll leave it at that. What I need you to do is go to the website and apply. The reason why we have you do the technology part is because it's quicker, more efficient. You're answering the questions. You're putting in your information, your name, your middle initial, your social security number. There isn't any way for us to miss that information or decipher it a little bit wrong. So you go to the website and you apply. Go to the website at the top right. There's an Apply Now button. Don't do a quick quote. Don't do anything of that. Please go in and complete the whole application. Based on the information you put on that application, it's going to ask you for certain documentation. The simplest form is you have a W-2 job, you've been on your job for 5 years, you get a steady paycheck. It's going to ask you for your pay stub and a W-2, just the last year. So 2019 W-2. All right. Then you say, well, I deal with Chase Bank and I got $20,000 in the bank. So what it's going to say is we need your Chase statement, your Chase Bank statement. So what you do is hopefully you have it on your computer and you just drag it and drop it right into our application. So it's there. So again, I'm going to make this in its simplest forms because there's always complications. There's if you're divorced, we might need a divorce decree. If you filed bankruptcy, might need something from that. If you own your own business, we might need your business tax returns, your LLCs, your corporate, your S Corp paperwork, and so forth. But I'll make it as simple as I can. So it's going to ask you for that. So you dump that into the application. Normally, if it's during office hours, within an hour, we're pulling that data down from the website and we're validating all this information as well as pulling your credit. So as soon as you're done, usually within a minute or two, somebody's on it. And we start going through and looking at your data. We go through your pay stubs, we go through your bank statements, make sure all this matches up to your application, okay? So now all that information's into the computer and it's accurate. The next thing we do is we use an automated system, it's a computer system, and we send your data to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, or Freddie Mac, I'll put it that way. You don't have to use both of them, but we do. What that is it's a computer system. You probably heard of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, both of them, none of them, but they probably do 95% of the mortgages in the entire country. Everybody uses them. Me, Quicken, Guaranteed Rate, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, we all use Fannie Mae and or Freddie Mac. So what happens at this point, we upload all your data, your credit report and your application, and we validated all your information into their computer system. 30 seconds later, the computer system is going to kick out and say it's approved or it's referred. Refer is a good name for declined. If you're declined, we can kind of manipulate the numbers a little bit, or maybe you're asking, you can't afford that big of a home, so we reduce the price of the home. We do a whole bunch of different things internally to maybe make or try to get that to work, okay? So now we get an approval. Again, remember, you sent me all of this information to validate that information, but the computer system is just reading what we input. So now you're going to hear a reference what we call, you're in underwriting. Well, what does underwriting mean? Because I hear my staff doing it all the time. Oh, you're in underwriting, we should know tomorrow. If I'm on the other side of the phone, I'm like, what does that mean? So I'll tell you what it means. When we run your loan through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, it kicks out an approval, and then it tells us, as long as this stuff that we list can be validated by someone who is certified to validate things on our behalf, we're good. The loan is approved and we can close it, okay? So now what happens is we take that printout that it issued, and again, it's about an 8-page printout, and it gives us a whole bunch of things that we have to do internally to validate all your information. So it's gonna say, Mr. Homebuyer says that he makes $60,000 a year. Well, this underwriter reads this Fannie Mae approval and it says you have to validate the $60,000 a year. So what does Mr. Underwriter do or Mrs. Underwriter do? They go back to your pay stubs. You make $5,000 a month, salary, $5,000 a month equals $60,000 a year. That is validated. The underwriter then goes and says, well, or looks at the Fannie Mae approval and it says, we have to have Mr. Homebuyer, they have to have $20,000 in the bank. How do we know? Well, Mr. or Mrs. Underwriter goes to your bank account and your Chase account has $21,200 in it. We need to validate 20, so that is good. And there's a whole laundry list of things. We have to verify your job. We have to do some fraud detection, judgment searches. There's a LexisNexis to see if you own any other properties possibly that you didn't disclose on your application. So there's a whole slew of things that this person does that validates things that the computer reviewed, is the best way to put it, okay? So usually this process takes, it usually takes about 3 to 4 days to do all this verification and validation and everything. And then the last thing you want to hear from us is, we just received a CTC on your loan. What's a CTC? Well, CTC means cleared to close. You're ready to close. So we match up with the attorneys, the realtors, the consumer, the seller, and everything. We bundle all that up, figure out a best day and time to meet, where to meet, and we go and we close your loan. You get the keys. I don't know how to do a key. maybe, something like that. Hopefully you're a happy client and you give us a great review and we can help others. So basically that's the mortgage process in a nutshell. Again, there can be complications, some things. If you own a business, you're getting gift funds and all that, but I have people on staff or myself, we'd love to answer all those questions for you. So if we can be of any help, please reach us. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you would. Please subscribe down below. Hit the bell down there. And I never ask people to hit the bell. What the bell does is every time you hit that and I post a video, you're going to get an alert. You can give us a call. Usually you reach me personally. 775-LOAN. Loan is 5626. So 844-775-5626. Visit us on the web at therateupdate.com, and I'd love to hear from you. So take care. God bless. Have a good day.